Dear learners, welcome to my channel. In the last video, we have seen the two visuals, that is a sunburst and we have seen a donut chart. In the sunburst chart, we have seen how we can add different kinds of categories into the grouping field and how we can analyze the revenue. And in the sunburst chart, it will tell you category-wise bifurcation of the revenue in terms of percentage. So if I click on bikes, the revenue contribution to my bikes is 82.41%. Similarly, if I click on road bikes, then it will tell me what is the road bikes contribution to my total. Now, similarly, we have seen another chart which is a donut chart in which we have the revenue also and we have the percentage contribution also, but here only we have categories. So if we filter down the categories, we can see that our revenue is 66 million, that is coming from bikes. Now again, if we go back to the report and we see the filtered page, you will see at the top how many orders has been placed. Now this chart will also be filtered and it will be shown by only bikes, right? Because we have applied the filters over here. Similarly, if you want to see for the components, it will show us which are the components and what is the revenue that is generated from the component, and it is going to show you the trend over a period of time that in component what is happening with the revenue, with the total items sold and with the order item, right? If we again click on the filter part, then again we'll go back to normal view. Now, so this was a thing that we have learned, the sunburst chart and the donut chart. Now in this video, we are going to learn one of the interesting chart, that is a violin plot. A violin plot is kind of a statistical distribution plot which is on a sideways, like you can imagine histograms on a sideway. So we are going to import one of the important visualization in this video, that is a violin plot. So first of all, because again it will be a part of product analysis, so what I'm going to do is I'm again going to create a new page and I'll duplicate the page. So let me right click on the product analysis and select duplicate. So your duplicate sheet will be created and I'm just uh, naming this as a product distribution. So I'll just rename product distribution analysis, right? Now in the product distribution, first thing I will remove this two chart by clicking on the three dot. You can remove the chart by clicking on just select the visualization, just click on the three dots and just click on remove. So this chart will be removed. I want the figures and everything KPIs to be as it is. Now to add a violin plot, again you need to click on this three dot, click on get more visuals, and you need to supply your login credentials for adding this visualization. But don't worry, I'll supply you the violin plot visual and you can just download it from the description box. I'll give you the link, download link into the description box, and you can just download it. Once you download it, you have to use the second option. Just click on this three dot and the second option, that is import a visual from. Okay, so just download the files first and use this option, import a visual from a file. Just select this option and navigate it to your folder and you will see something known as a violin plot visual. Just select the visual and click on open. So you will see this kind of symbol, which is a violin plot. It will be visible to your visualization pane. Now let me just add the violin visual over here. Just click on this violin visual and you will see uh, the plot is that is getting added, visual that is getting added to my canvas. Now let me just put it on focus mode so that it is visible on the full screen. Now here I have to do some analysis. Now let me just add first of all the measure that I want to add. So if you see, I'm having a measure, let me just call up this one measure, which is an item sold. So I want to see the distribution of total number of items that has been sold. So that is my measure. So I'll put my item sold as my measure data. Now, so you will see over here. Please ensure that you have added a data to sampling and measure data field. So in measure data, we have added the field. You can also supply an optional category to plot multiple violins with your data set. So as of now, I want to see the sampling. I want to see in the product part. I want to see by different subcategories how my distribution is being done. So now you can see a violin kind of, you know, a a chart which is showing you the minimum, the maximum value, and all your statistical distribution. So if you see the horizontal line inside a box represents your median value. You will see this value, and that is 3.73K. If you hover your mouse over here, it will give you all the data. The samples that they have taken is 33, which is representing the entire population. The maximum is 39K. The minimum is 634, and the median value is 3.73K, and the mean value is 6.50K, and the deviation that is there is 8.13K. Now you can understand this is a kind of a histogram on the sideways, right? If you see on the distribution particularly, you will see the distribution on sideways, like this is your mean value. So how to interpret this chart? Majority of your items that has been sold, that is around 4K. So if you just check out the median value 3.73 K, so like almost like 4,000 items. So you can see the majority of the items that has been sold is 4,000 K. And if you see the mean value, it is 6.5. So almost like 6,500 items has been sold. This is my mean value. Dot is my mean value. And what is the median value? It is 3.73. So you will see this line. And if you see the distribution, majority of the part, it is in this area. So majority of the items that has been sold is 4,000, around 4,000. But you will see there are some items which is having the sale of nearly 38,000. Okay, so we need to check out these items. You will see there are a lot of items which are also sold around 15K, but in comparison to this 4K, which is your median value, majority of the distribution is in this part. Okay, so these are subcategories. So in the data set, if we go to subcategories part, you will see the list that we are having it. Right, in the subcategory you will see we have all the accessories that are listed over here, right? So you'll see lot of items are there, right? Similarly, if you want to check out for the category part, then also you can do it. Just remove the subcategory part and just put the category part, so you will see the distribution of category part. So if you see there are only 4 categories that we are having it, so it has taken 4 samples because we have only 4 categories, right? But if you see the distribution of subcategory, we have different items, and that is around 33 items, and then this is the distribution of the overall distribution of the category. Now, in the category field, I want to see the distribution multiple violins in terms of fiscal year. Year wise, I want to see how is the distribution. So if I go on the calendar timeline and if I click on fiscal year, then it will add it to your category field. Now, if you see over here, the distributions are divided in terms of 3 different years. So there are 3 volume plot which will tell you, say for example in 2018, the distribution was the mean distribution that is around 3K, but the median value is around 1.86K. So from this chart, you can see that majority of the items that were sold were around 1.8K, but there are items which is approx 9K that has been sold also. Similarly, if you come to 2019, majority of the items that were sold around 1.8K, right? But there are a lot of items which have sold around 5K also, and there are some items which have been sold around 19K also. Similarly, so that you can get from the maximum value if you see, right? Let's come to over here. You will see the maximum value that is 12.79, so around 13K. So you will see there are a lot of items which has been sold around 30K, but there are some items which have been sold around 7K, and the mean value that is around 4K. So if you see over here the median value, right, around 2K, there is a maximum items that has been sold. So this will tell you the distribution of your items that has been sold. So it will it will categorize your value in terms of statistical distribution by taking an appropriate sample, which is going to tell you the distribution, and along with that you can just format this chart also. So for example, let me go to formatting part. The first one is Violin option. So inner padding and all this I'll keep it as, but category sorting I want to ascending order. The data colors I want to sort by category. Okay, so now you will see your visual looks good, appealing, right? You can just increase the transparency, you can decrease the transparency and get the full color, and you can just increase the transparency to full also to make sure that it's a white one, and you can just restore to default. I just want category label so that it is looks visible good. Then on y-axis, I have combo plots. Okay, so I'm having box plot, but you can just have this barcode strip also. Then you can have this column min max also. This also you can put it, right? I'll always prefer box plot, which is an inside the visualization, which will tell you the statistical distribution. Then median line, if you want to change show whiskers, if you just click off, it will not show you the whisker line, right? Show median line. If you want to show the median line, we want it actually, right? Median stroke width, it is 2. You can just increase the width of the stroke. Okay, if the line is not visible, then you can just increase it. The color I want is as of now it is white because we have dark background, so I'll keep as it is. And mean circle, it is of black color. You can change the color, but I'm keeping red by default, which is I think most appropriate one for that. Then on the y-axis we have labels, so you can see the labels which are there. I want it into my black color, and I will keep it to the 12 size font, and you can just increase you can just adjust the grid lines also, right? But I think that will be much better in the default mode. Show titles, if you want your titles to be shown, I want my title to be shown. And you want units also, so show both, that will also be there, right? Automatically by default it is in the thousands. Decimal value units, you can change it from here, right? I'll always suggest that you keep it by default. Then text, title text size, you can just increase the size of the title, right, so that it looks visually appealing. Then grid lines, I want it as it is. The start value should be automatic. Okay, so this was the formatting regarding the y-axis label. Now let's come to x-axis label. X-axis label also I want it black in color. I want keep 12 size. Show title, I want the title to be displayed, and I want the title to be there in the black color, and I want 12 point size. Grid lines also I want it on. You can just switch off the grid lines, right, if you don't want it. Then tooltips, as of now I have kept the auto display units, this decimal also. Measure display unit, as of now it is in the thousands. I'll keep it measure decimal, I'll keep as it is. Span min to max, that also I want it. Upper and lower quartile also, interquartile also, whisker confidence level, and KDA bandwidth also I want it. So if you now select if you go and hover over here, you will have all the statistical uh, uh, you will have the all statistical values that are visible. You will see category, it's 2019, so category is my fiscal year. How many sample has been taken? 17 samples have been taken in 2019, and the maximum value is around 19k, the minimum is 634. Now max to mean, there is span, there is range, basically is 18.36k. My median value is around 4k, and my mean value is around 4.6k. The deviation that is happening there is 4.43k, and the upper quartile and lower quartile. So you can see this upper quartile, right, nearly around 5.1, and the lower quartile it is around 1.8k, and the upper whisker at 95% it is 10.88k, and 5% it is 934. Okay, so this will give you the statistical distribution. Now let's go to legend. Legend I want on the top, and I want on the center, right? I want to keep it black color. I want to increase to 12 size font so that it looks visually good. Median text, I want median value only, mean value only. About, I don't want it. Violin plot, it is as it is. So this is my visualization formatting that I have done it. Now let's go to general formatting. In the properties tab, I don't want to adjust this position. I don't want it. Padding, I don't want it. Advanced option, I don't want it. Title. Title, I want to keep it as it is, but I'll keep it bold and I'll keep it in black color. Then I want subtitle also. Keep it on if you want it and keep it in bold, and I want it in black color, right? Then divider, I don't want it. Spacing, I don't want it. Effects, this is most important. I want visual border to be there, and border should be of black color. Give it black color. Let me go to back to report so that, and rounded edges, I don't want it. Width, I want it till 2. Shadow, I don't want it. Data formatting, for item source, I don't want to do any formatting. Header icon on, tooltips on, and this is fine. Okay, done. So this is my general formatting that I have done it for the item sold by subcategory and fiscal year, right? So once you select this, you will see your measure that is clearly over here and subtitle that is there. You can just subtitle, if you don't want it, then you can just switch off the subtitle, so you will see the entire title that is visible over here, right, by subcategory and fiscal year. So this is one of the important chart that is showing you the statistical distribution. Okay, and you can just visually see what is happening inside this thing. Now along with that, I want to see my items that has been sold by different subcategories. So I want to plot, I want to see how my items has been sold by different subcategories. So for that, I want to have a tree map, which is a hierarchy chart that is there. So I am inserting an hierarchy map, and I want to see my items that has been sold. So I'll just go to item sold and I'll put it into my values field, and I want to analyze my data by subcategory. So if you see, my subcategories are over here. Now if you just click on it, you will see we have different subcategories, right? So you will see we have road bikes, we have mountain bikes, then we have touring bike. So now if you see, if I want to see the contribution of road bikes, so when you click on the road bikes, you will see all your data will be filtered by road bikes only. Now if you see, this is my revenue that is generated for year 2018, 2019, 2020 for the road bikes. You will see there are 3806 orders, 29 million of revenue. This is a detailed breakup of 29 million revenue, and this is your distribution of items sold, right? And from this items, you can see 39k items are there, right? So 39,128, that is the total item, and total revenue that has been generated is 29 million. Now if you see, you can just have multiple things also. If you hold the shift key and just click on mountain bikes, you will see the results for road bikes and mountain bikes. Now if you want to include touring bike also, so you will have all the three categories of bikes, that is road bikes, mountain bikes, and touring. So you'll see in category, if you remember, there was the total revenue was 66 million, and the total items that has been sold is 75k, right? Again, if you want to see the detailed distribution of it, then what we can do is we can just remove the subcategory part, we can add the category part, and then inside the category, if you see, there are four different categories: bikes, clothing, components, and accessories. And along with that, if I want to put subcategory, then it will bifurcate it. Now this look much visually appealing. So if you see the color coding, this blue is my bikes only, the orange is my clothing, the blue one is my component, and this one is my accessories. Now let me just format this chart also. Now let's go to format as a visual. Let's go to legend. I want it because I want to see my category field. I want on the top center text. I want to keep it black in color and I want 12 size. Title, I want to keep it on. Colors, I want to keep it by default. Layout, I want it squarified only. Data labels, I want to keep it on, because in that I'll have my items which are listed. I want to keep it bold so that it looks appealing. And category labels, I also want it to be white color and it should also be bold, and I want category to be there of 11. Now let me go to general part. In the general part, I want properties to not be touch. I'll just directly go on the title, keep it bold. And subtitle, I don't want it. I just want effect size, the visual border, and it should be of black color. And I want 2 point size. Okay, rest of the visuals I'm not just formatting it. Now if you see over here, now this is my tree map. Now if I click on the biking and particularly bike, you will see the total revenue from my bike component, and particularly road bike is 29 million. So here it will be very easy to identify from the colors that the bike represents the blue color. So if I hold the shift key, if I filter the data by road bike, if I press shift key and if I select the touring bike, you will see that this is my entirely bikes item sold that has been there. So there are 75,000 items has been sold for biking category. How many orders were there? 3806 orders were there. And you see the total revenue that is generated is 66 million. And this is the detailed breakup of items that has been sold and the revenue that is generated from them item, right? So this is basically the product items. We have analyzed it. In this part we have analyzed the revenue part from the category and subcategory. Here we have seen the statistical distributions of items that has been sold, right? So if you see, there are total 215K items are there. But if you see that, if I want to see that so for example, let's go for year. If I want to see what is happening in 2018, so in 2018 you will see the distribution of bikes. Particularly in 2018 there were only road bikes and mountain bikes. You will see there were no touring bikes. In clothing also, jerseys, socks, and you will see a category called caps, right? But if you go to 2019, we have introduced and expanded our territory to road bikes, mountain bikes. The clothing, we have expanded the categories from gloves, then tights to the caps and then shorts. Then in the component parts also we have included road frames, wheels, mountain bikes, mountain frames. So you will see, you put it on focus mode, you will see the categories that we have included in 2019. Now if you see in 2020 what has happened, so just click select on 2019, just click on focus mode, you will see that we have again expanded our territory. And you can see the clothing, we have jerseys, we have shorts and vests. So these are the total items. This, the figure represents the total number of items that has been sold. On the visual you can see how many items were there. 114K in 2020. 1 lakh 14,000 items has been sold, or 114,000 items has been sold, and the revenue generated from that was 36 million. And the total orders we have received in 2020 was 1812. Okay, and you can see the distribution over here. Okay, there are 30 different samples that was taken and the maximum value was 30. If you see the median value which is 2.7K, but you will see in this distribution that there are some items which has been sold around 12K also. If you see the maximum value, there are 13,000 items which has also been sold in 2020, but the majority of the items were sold around 2K, and the mean value was around 4K, and median value was around 2.7K. So from here you can see the distribution of your products, how your items has been sold, and how it is changing over a period of time. Right? If you want to see that, if I want to see my biking, the sale of bikes, and you want to see how it is changing over a period of time, then you can just select the biking one. You will see the statistical distribution of it also. And from here you can see, if I go one level up, you will see this is my yearly analysis. If I go one level down, this will tell me year wise monthly sales, how it is being performing for particularly bikes, right? So if you see all our revenues, particularly for October month, you will see for January, you will see for April, then again for June. Now comes to 2019, you will see October, then January, and then you will see June, right? So you will see a consistent pattern, particularly in January month and in June month, the sales are getting below average for the bikes. Again, if you come to over here, then you will see June and then January, and then you can see the April. So there are some months in which the sale of the bike is below average. So we need to actually identify from the market that what is actually happening with the bikes in these particular months. Similarly, we also need to check out that particularly in August it is there, November is there, particularly August, September, and November, December, you will see the bike sale of the bike is being uh, going above average. So also here also we need to identify that what is actually happening into the market so that our sales are basically increasing or it is getting above average sale, right? Similarly, if you this is for bikes, right? Now again, if you want to see what is happening in clothing part, so what you can do is that you can just click on that and just hold the shift key and just select all the visual which represents the clothing part. Now if you go back in, you will see these are my revenue which is generated for all the years, right? Now if I want to see what has happened in particular 2018, so this will tell you that particularly in October and particular January and in April the sales are getting dipped. Similarly, in 2019, if you see in the October, in the January, February, March, okay. So these are the areas where we need to see that what has happened into the market and why our items are have not been sold. Particularly in 2020, if we can see the October month, January, February, and March and April. So you can see this is a consistent pattern that we can see in the clothing part that our sales are getting below average for this particular month. So we need to identify that what is actually happening in this month so that our revenues are getting below average. Okay, so this is how actually you do the product analysis in terms of items sold. You can do in terms of revenue, and you can create any measures that you want to see over a period of time, and you can do the analysis. Now over here, one of the interesting thing that I'll also make you understand that this the slices that we have added, say for example we have slices in the product analysis also and in the customer analysis also. But if you see, if I go to product distribution and if I see the sale for, say for example 2020, and you will see this is my item that has been sold for 2020 and this is my revenue that is there for over a period of time. When I click on 2020 and if I go on the product analysis part, you will see this is not getting changed. So here whatever the slicer is, that the effect of this slicer is not being applied on the another page. Similarly, if I go to customer analysis, then this slicers doesn't take into effect, right, until and unless you actually sync this slicer. So if you want to make sure that whatever slicer that you added, and if I apply my slicer over here, then it should have the implication on all the other report also. Then what you need to do is you need to basically sync your slicer. Now how do you sync this slicer with the other pages? So for that you need to just click on the slicer visual, right? Now let's go to view part and you will see something known as sync slicers, right? Now when you click on sync slicer, you will see a tab which is open. Now here it is very important to understand what is happening over here. Page name. This is basically the name of the report that we are having it. The first one is customer analysis, second one is product, and the third one is product distribution. As of now, we are in the product distribution part, and there are two symbols. This arrow on the upside and downside represents synchronization, means the effect of this slicer will affect all the other pages. As of now, it is not tick mark. The meaning of this thing, if I apply any slicer, any filter over here, it will not be applied on the other pages. This eye symbol is known as a view option or visible option. Means this slicer is visible on all the pages, right? So as of now, you will see it is there on all the pages, right? Now, say for example, if I untick my slicer in customer analysis part. So what will happen? It will not be visible into my customer analysis part, right? So view means it will be visible, right? In short, if you want your slices to be visible, then you have to keep it tick mark. Now, the- now if you see and if you go on the customer analysis, you will see your slicer over here. Now let's again go to product analysis, product distribution analysis. And can you see this synchronization? Now, if I want that whenever I do any kind of filter over here in this page, then it should reflect on all the other pages also. Then you need to tick mark this one. This option is known as synchronization. Now, the benefit of doing this thing is once you apply this synchronization, then if you filter your data by 2020, so I'm filtering my data by 2020. So this distribution of items sold will tell me about 2020. You'll see 1812 order, 36 million total revenue, and 114 key item that has been sold. Now if I go to product analysis, then the effect is applied on this also. So now you see what is happening in 2020. So 1812 order, 36 million revenue, and 114 key. Now again, if I go on the product in the customer analysis, you will see the slicer that is 2020 is applied over here. Let me go to one level down so that you can see by month analysis. Okay, so in short, when you synchronize your slicer and if you filter your data on any of the pages and you want that effect to be applied on all the report pages, then you need to sync your slicers to all the report pages. Right? So for example, if I click on 2019, then all your reports, customer analysis, product analysis, and product distribution analysis all will be filtered by 2019 data only. Okay, so the benefit of this slicer is you can actually synchronize the slicers with all the different pages. And whenever you want to unsynchronize your slicer, then also you can do it. You can just clear the synchronization and say, for example, I'll again click on the synchronization tab. So this is already open. Now, if I don't want to apply the effects on, say, for example, in customer analysis, I just want to apply on the product analysis and product distribution. Now, the synchronization will work in this two report only, product analysis and distribution analysis, and it will not be applied on customer analysis. Though the slices will be visible, but synchronization will not be happened. Now let's go and check out this thing. Now I'm on the product distribution analysis. Now if I click on 2020, it will show you the distribution. 1812 order, 36 million revenue, and 114k items has been sold. Now if I go to product analysis, the filter part is applied on this report also. But if I go to customer analysis, it will not have any effect. Why? Because I have only synchronize my slicers on these two report pages, product analysis and product distribution analysis, right? So this is the benefit that you can actually sync the slicers on the report pages that you want it. If you don't want that slicer to be even visible also, then you can go to sync slicer. Okay, just select the slicer and you can see if your synchronization should be done, then you should tick mark. My suggestion is always that whenever you create report and you have a slicers and you want to see the effect of slicers on all the report pages, please go for tick mark all this synchronization symbol. Along with the view, you should synchronize the slicers also, right? Because that is the actually we do the analysis part. So if I click on the uh, clear selection for fiscal year, it will show me the entire total page. And if you go to the product analysis, now if I apply the filtered part 2020, all my report will be filtered by 2020 analysis. So this is my customer analysis, which is filtered by 2020. This is my product analysis of revenue, and this is my product analysis by items sold. The distribution particularly that is there for the items. So in this video, we have learned one of the important measures, that is item source and how you can do it. The first thing that we learned is how to import a violin plot. So to import, you have to go to get import visual and you can import the file. The file I'll give it to you into the description link, and you can import the visual. Violin plot is one of the statistical distribution plot. It's also known as a rotated density plot. Okay, a rotated density chart. It's like a histogram on the sideways, which will tell you the distribution, statistical distribution of your measure that you want to analyze it, and you can put any category that you wanted. As of now, fiscal year, so I want to see the distribution for fiscal year, and you can get all the statistical distribution which is available for the item sold with all the statistical measure. In the second part, we have learned about um, a tree map, which is showing you the items sold by different categories of the products and subcategory into the detail, right? So you can get the total number of items that is sold, that has been sold. Along with that, we have KPIs at the top, which will tell you how much revenue has been generated and how much orders that we have got it from a particular category of items. Okay, so this is a product distribution analysis that we have seen for the item sold over a period of time, and we can see the trend also, how it is moving it. We can see the revenue that also that is generated from the particular category of items. Okay, so I hope you have learned a lot of new things into this video, and I hope you have enjoyed this video also. I'll give you the data files and the visualization file, and you can just download it from the description box, right? Uh, if you have any doubt or any query regarding this video, you can definitely ask me the questions into the comment section, and I'll definitely reply to your questions. Uh, Please practice this file. Please practice this visual. You can just go on the internet and search more about the Violin plot. It is one of the good visual that will be helpful for your statistical distribution analysis. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed it, and we'll see and meet into the next video. Thank you.